So after taking this all apart, obviously we found that the bushings were worn on the sway arm. However, tried to get a new one. If I wanted to go down that route, would have cost me quite a bit of money. So I had a look at the general condition of this. Basically, just determined that if I cleaned it up, I've treated the affected areas with some anti-rust. I allowed that to dry. So we're giving it a coating in red oxide paint and just giving it a light sanding. Touch all this up now with some black hammerite. At least I've saved a bit of cash on that. So the replacement mounts that go on there, they're about 10-15 quid. So they're already on order. And obviously there's nothing else wrong with this bar at all. It was just mainly surface rust. So we've got rid of all that, wire brushed it and stuff, and treated it. So I saved a fair packet on this, to be fair. So what I'm going to do now is just carry on, because it is damn cold in this garage. Get this coated, and I've left the oil heater on, so we'll get that to warm up soon, and hopefully then this will give it a bit of better temperature just to sort of go off and dry. Okay. So today's the day we get this hopefully back installed in its rightful place. Got a new power steering pump, obviously new subframe, because the old one was actually toast. And we're just in a throes now of just putting on the last little bits, and then we'll get this lined up underneath. I'll take a couple of snapshots of it going in place. If I can do the video, I will do, but obviously I only have so much area to sort of manoeuvre sort of thing, so chances are you'll probably end up with just my head in the way. But hey, we'll see how it goes and then go from there. Okay, so subframe's in loosely for the moment. From there, take a photo of that, take a photo there. Okay, so here we are again then. Last little piece to put in. This arrived the other day. This is your dog bone joint. And it sits on the front of the subframe, and then obviously these two sit on the lower part of your gearbox system. So it should sit something like that. So yeah, we managed to get the subframe back in. Just trying to get a little bit of light on the subject. So plenty of roll bars there. We do have the replacement bushings for that, so they're going to go in a second. Just up in there. As you can see, that's all tied in now. Obviously our exhaust I did a few weeks ago. The support for the exhaust, which will eventually bolt to the subframe, but obviously because the engine's moved backwards slightly, obviously it's not allowing us to fit it just yet. Unfortunately, I've got to just undo those two clamps down there, just allow for that exhaust to move, and then when we install the dog bone, let's get out of the way, there we go, that'll sit in its recess just there, and then obviously there's the two bolts for the gearbox. We'll bolt it up at the front, which is all good. Start motor, yeah, I'm going to have a look to see whether that's going to be a relatively quick job to do. It does get a bit sticky on this one. I suppose while I'm here, when the colour's on sort of thing, I could potentially take that off, just give it a little bit of a clean up, maybe if I can access the main shaft sort of thing, see if I can apply just a smidgen of grease on it or clean it up somehow so that it doesn't stick as much. But it is working. I've got no reason to replace it at the moment, so maybe just a quick sort of tidy up. Once we get that dog bone in place, I'm going to run the engine on idle just to clear out any debris that may be in that exhaust system. I did notice the other day, in fact when we actually did a quick run of this, that there was a little bit of smoke coming off it, so it probably is just residue, which is fine. So the bolts for the gearbox to subframe, dog bone connection, they've turned up, so we'll get those fitted in place now, and we can go from there. Happy days. That was already loose, that's good. Okay, get these in. Yep. Okay. Alright, that's everything. Always put a dab of copper crest on these, just to give me a sort of a fighting chance if I need to take them off again, really. I don't tend to put them under threads, but usually where the head bolt sits, it always works. Leave that to there for a minute. Okay. This one done. There we go, we're just twisting this for a minute. Considering what the old one was, I mean this one is proper stiff on it. So it just goes to show that they do wear over time. It would be really nice to have one of those electric ones in my life. So much easier. Oh, it's on the floor. That's okay then. It's on the floor. There we go. So hopefully that should have taken out all the play that was on the original one. I'll cover the shank on this one, just because from watching the other ones come out, they do get a bit of rust forming on that shank. So we'll just give that a bit of a light coating as well. Okay. Right. So over here we can just tighten them for torque ends. So the large bolts going to that should be 40 newtons. Let's have a look, see what we've got here. So I don't think I'm not going to risk it. Right, I was going to get these properly done today, but obviously that doesn't want to play, so I'd rather not risk getting these studs actually damaged. So what I'll do is tighten them up as best I can, and then I'll grab a decent one. And I might as well do these subframe ones as well because they're the same value. These are the bolts that hold the steering rack onto the subframe. Nice view of my head there. There we go, that's actually clicked. So it does actually work. Right, so that's that lot done. So we're just waiting for the lower arms to turn up. What I could do now is, while we're here, we might as well just see. We might as well get these bushes fitted. The new ones that need to go on there. So I'll just pause this for a minute. Okay, so I did this one off camera, but yeah, it's a tight fit, but it does actually go in. And we've just got the bolts seated there. So what I'm going to do is go over to the other side now, get the other side fitted, because I did need to move this bushing, or this sway bar, whatever you want to call it, anti-roll bar around, just to get that fitted. So let's do the other side. Dust shield's seen better days, so we're going to remove that, get rid of those ABS sensors. In fact, this one's actually knackered as it comes up on the report. Calipers, we're not going to order them until next month. And then I still need to make a decision on this spring. I mean, in all honesty, that's obviously peeled and corroded, so I'm expecting that would probably fail an MOT. So I think what I might do is just see if we can replace the spring for now. Tidy that up a little bit. And then start a rebuild. Okay, happy days. Okay, small update. So we've decided with regards to the shocks and springs that we'd actually pull the old ones out and we'll install new ones. So we did that over the weekend. The only thing left then to take out was the steering knuckle and the bearing assembly. We've done that for both. Came out relatively easy, to be fair, and it was one of those spur of the moment things that I was doing at the weekend, so unfortunately I didn't record it. But there's plenty of YouTube videos out there if you want to know how to take these off. They are relatively simple to do. Most of the stuff I already had off anyway. The only thing that was left was obviously to undo that bolt that went through there that clamps to the bottom of the suspension strut. Once that was out, I was then able to extract the locking nut from the drive shaft. That was a little bit tight because over time that does, you can see a little bit of rust on there. It does congeal some stuff, but what I managed to do is just spray some WD-40, let that soak for a little bit, and then with that locking nut off, what I did, I turned it around, put it on so that the flat side is actually facing out towards the wall, and gave it a few gentle taps, and eventually the drive shaft started to move rearwards, started to pull out of the actual spline itself, because that's literally all that holds it in. Once that was done, I just got an extension bar, put the extension bar onto the front face of there, being careful not to damage any of those threads, and just continued to knock, and eventually it just came apart. So that's all done. So next thing I've managed to get done then was my shocks. They actually did come apart, so if I ordered a whole set as built, it would have cost a lot more. You're talking like 400 quid plus. What I did is I actually ordered the strut itself. Now these are gas struts. I went for a new set of gaiters with the internal, I can't really call it, like a rubber mounting inside sort of thing. And obviously the springs as well. So these are Ridex springs with Ridex gas suspension. You can go for the oil ones. There's no real difference from what I've been told. So I'm going to take a punt on these and give these ones a go. But the strut assembly, springs and that in total came up to I think it was around about £156, and all I did was I passed them down to my son-in-law, and he basically built these up for me. Still use the original cups because they are in a really good condition, so I didn't see the point of binning those and getting new ones. If they'd have been worn and fractured and stuff like that, then yes, I would definitely recommend changing those, but these are in a really good condition. So they're going to be ready to go back in. Obviously, the other side is done as well. If you're going to do these, with a note is that the ABS does not like to come out. So if you're going to continue to use your existing steering knuckle, then the ABS system doesn't want to budge. I can't remember if I did show you the video of the anti-roll bar, but we have put the new mounts on there now. So there's a new rubber grommets. They're loose at the moment because obviously we've not got a lower arm and everything else on, but once they're all reattached, they'll get tightened up. So we're getting there. Been a fair few weeks since I last done any work on this. I've had a few aching issues with regards to my back, and as you can tell from my limited room, it's not the best. Nothing really much else to say on this engine wise. I did pull the plugs quickly. I wanted to have a look at them because I knew that they were incorrectly gapped, and when I pulled all four out, I found that the gaps were around 2 mil, which is not what the spec says. Most of the specs say it's 0.9 to 1 mil. So I've readjusted those just to get it run properly, really. We did that. I got my VCDS on and I looked at the Lambda live feed or live recordings data. It went from 25 down to 7. So even just by changing those plug gaps made quite a significant difference. Obviously it does have a new secondary cat on this. It's still got the original Lambda sensors. I'm erring on the side of caution at the moment. I may change them just so I know that we got a good new quality product on there, because the engine will need to relearn. The ECU will have to relearn all the values and stuff. So I'm in two minds at the moment. I might give it a quick run just to see how it goes, but it does need time for this to run in, so the only time I can do that is when it's booked for MOT, essentially. But that's the position where we are at the moment. I'm going to drop these in a minute. Just put these back in for the top. So that cap's there, and return cap. We've got new nuts. The nuts are already on the top, so all ready to go really. So I'll drop those back in loose for now. As with everything, I've got to wait for the parts to arrive and rebuilt up. But I'm conscious that I haven't put a video out for a while, so I thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update on what's going on. I mean, overall, she's not looking too bad. I mean, the engine bay is cleaned up quite well. So I may, when I start doing the servicing, I may pull that shield, give that a bit of a clean up, you know, spruce. But yeah, overall, we are pretty much rocking now for the rest of the rebuild. Essentially, it's had a whole new front end suspension, so can't be bad. Right, that's all for now. So thanks for watching, and I'll try and get a quicker update to you as soon as I can. Obviously, we've got other things that are more pressing at the moment, but the aim is to have this on the road by the end of June. So fingers crossed, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.